Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast. This is the first takeaway with Tay and Ren. The Packers dominated the Titans today 30-14, and that's what we'll be discussing. These are our first reactions right after the game ended. It looks like we got a new Tay here with the haircut. Maybe we have a new Packers team, Ren. How you feeling and what's going on?
New Packers team now, Tay. This is the Packers team. It's really the young crew lending their help to the young man and Malik Willis, getting his feet under him. I don't know why you are a Malik truther at this point. Seems like you like the division with Malik. Again, no turnovers on the season for Malik in 2 games, so you got to give him all the credit for that, Tay. But I mean, it's nothing out of this world. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, but if we were losing these games, we'd be super upset. We'd be throwing our hat, going, "Where's Ryan Tannehill?" We'd be, just kicking the dirt in the mud and wondering why this team, why Brian Gutekunst wasn't doing anything, and Matt LaFleur wasn't preparing his second QB. And this is night and day. We got to give credit where credit's due. Matt LaFleur did a great job, but the quarterback play was great again today. We had a great running game, great running plays for the most part. It was a fun day for the defense, just completely awesome. So with that, Ren, where do you want to start here? What do you want to what do you want to give some love to?
Well, I mean,
as Jordan
and you want to do that, but let's be honest. I mean, you're right. I mean, had we gone into these 2 games without Jordan, with Michael Pratt or Sean Clifford, probably not the same result, right? And yeoman's work to, obviously Tom Clements and Matt LaFleur with regard to, just getting Malik in the right positions to make the right plays at the right time. Obviously, you got to love the first drive. He runs that one in. But right after that, you're talking about, Will Levis going right down the field. Looks like Dan Marino. Too easy. 7-7 ball game.
Mm-hmm.
The offense, I think, and Malik played pretty well in the first half. The running game couldn't get going. Hit some nice, timely passing plays. You like to see it. Obviously, the Jair Alexander pick 6 was massive. Just baited him into the throw, and he takes it to the house. That is Jair Alexander's first ever pick 6 tag, which is hard to believe. But, yeah, that he had a little belt after the game that he got from a fan in the stands. He was very happy to talk about it. I saw our friend Rob Domowski in the scrum there, interviewing him per that piece, amongst others. But that was kind of fun. The offense, I think, really sputtered in the second half, just kind of keeping the Titans there.
A lot of punts.
Well, a lot of punts. But speaking of punts, I mean, there were times where, and let's tie the punts in. There are a couple times on Packers punts or them receiving punts where they're really untimely penalties where they could have started, at about the 50 on one of them, and now they're back inside the 30. I think they would have been at the 47-yard line. You can't do those kind of things. Another one on the Packers punting, they're backed up at the 10. Instead, they're out at the 30. That was one of the big things you want to point to in this great win. That was a negative were all these penalties. Rasheed Walker with a couple, Elton Jenkins with a couple. It was a very, very heavily penalized game. I think the Packers at this point are one of the most penalized teams in the NFL for the first 3 weeks of the season. Got to clean that stuff up, Tay. It's not good. So they could have won this game going away. I mean, we're talking about field position in a number of ways where they either start further or they got them pinned back further as a result. But because of just bad penalties, they get one good one where they get a second, Narvison misses a kick, 3rd game in a row. No, wait, he is forgiven. And now they get a first down. That was probably the only one they got their way that, really helped them with regard to some points coming out thereafter. I think that one led to the big Emmanuel Wilson screen pass down the field for the touchdown. I mean, incredible play. Malik wasn't, crazy. His quarterback rating will say it was. He was good. He can manage the football team really well. I think he was 13-19 for 220 or 202.
202, mix it up. He was 120.9 QB
Okay,
rating.
yeah, very nice. Again, no picks. That'll help you out there. Will Levis continues to make some boneheaded plays. Clearly, the bait Jair piece. Um, the defense really started taking over late into the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. I mean, you're talking 8 sacks on the day, Tay.
Yeah.
I was trying to look up how many sacks they had on the 2023 season. Couldn't find it. Shouldn't be that hard to find per Google, but it was. So maybe you can do that while we're sitting here. But, incredible performance there. Now already tied their amount of output for interceptions in the season with 7. And you have Professor X getting his 3rd in 3 games. He had 3 of all last year with the Giants. How they let this guy get away today, I have no idea. The guy's literally coming into his prime, just there. Obviously, Seal's an easy one at the end, but 3 in 3 games is incredible. You just have to love him being kind of the leader of your defense in that backfield, and just the overall performance with, Van Ness had a great game, man. What a great game. Devontae Wyatt had a great game. They were doing some halfly exotic, loading up right or left side when they're bringing pressure. How does Tennessee respond to it? They couldn't. It was just a very good overall win, but it took the defense really, Tay, in the second half of the offense sputtered to kind of take this thing over and put it away to get the Packers to that 30-14 victory.
Yeah, this was fun to watch. I mean, there were a couple things you can nitpick here. I think penalties was one of them. I agree. There's like so many penalties. It's still very much a live issue, and it needs to be addressed. But you can have all these penalties and still win and dominate like this. It's kind of like, covers it up a little bit. And I guess you can't complain with a dub like this. But there's just like all these other ones too, like illegal shift and motions and stuff. And it's all just like, this is fundamental things you're getting called on. Not to mention the holding stuff. That'll happen. That's gonna happen. But these things that you can correct and you don't need to have happen in the first place come out and then just set you back. I don't like that at all. That spells a little bit of like concern going into the future here. Even if you have Jordan Love back, you gotta clean that up big time. That could come back, and lead you to lose games instead of winning them. But I loved the first drive by the Packers. Malik Willis, choosing to hold the ball and run rather than hand it off. Again, Matt LaFleur was kind of dialing up some good stuff today, and Malik Willis was coming into his own a little bit with this offense and able to decide what to do and when to throw it, when to run. He kind of saved himself and some of the offensive plays by just running it, and that felt great to see offensive production and keep moving the chains with Malik's legs. And I just we can bring this up later in our weekly podcast, but is the running aspect to the quarterback position a better fit for this MLF offense? I don't know. It seems to really work. So I hope. See, this is what I'm hoping, Ren. You might give me the little stink eye with that, but think about Jordan Love running a couple times on design runs. I mean, yeah, you just paid the guy $255 million or whatever it was, and why would you put him at risk and harm's way? But maybe this is what you do to kind of do a hybrid offense, because I think running the QB is something that we've never had. I mean, think about it. We've never had that.
Aaron Rodgers wasn't a running quarterback, Tay. This guy was
when the play broke down.
When he broke
what that were things
from 2010 to 2017.
No,
from 2010 to 2017, Aaron Rodgers could definitely do
design runs, Ren. Design runs, no.
Design, no. But he was a very mobile guy on the ground doing some things. He even did a little bit of that against the Patriots, impressively on Thursday night. But not to get to the Aaron Rodgers show here, but no, I agree with you, Tay. Actually, going back to it, like once Jordan is healthy, and it's going to be some weeks, even though he'll be starting before then, that they can maybe introduce a little bit of what, again, we talked about on our last full episode, that maybe this has opened the bag a little bit more for Matt and what he can do with Jordan and really make this offense cook, because I still don't think Malik can do the things in the passing game that Jordan can. Just having these monster games with Christian and with Wicks and and with Jay Reed and with Romeo. Romeo again, clutch third down guy. The dude just seems to be clutch on third down. He's just awesome. We're seeing Tucker Kraft come in his own, maybe as the complete tight end they haven't had in years, Tay. So kudos to him. Got a little banged up today, but
Yeah, I'm not sure that they mentioned it during the broadcast. Like they said he was going to be questionable, come back, and all of a sudden next play you see him in, and you're like,
yeah.
okay,
He's a gamer. He's a gamer, man. I mean, this guy. I mean, you see it from Kelsey. He gets banged up all the time, and he gets right back out there. But I think they have, your true block release kind of tight end, not your pass catching like release guy. Like Musgrave is going to be more that specialist tight end. It seems like Tucker is working himself into that complete version that they haven't had. And I don't know when, Tay. Mark Chimura, maybe? We're talking mid-90s. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see on that. I think both players are necessary right now to kind of find what that position is. I saw Luke in on some running plays, and I wonder if they're doing that on purpose to kind of if the defense sees Kraft in there, do they play differently? I don't know, but I like to see the potential here with those two tight ends, and yeah, Kraft is coming into his own. It's gonna be a lot of fun to see what happens with that. I got to give props to Watson. Finally, number 9, he went up and got that ball, grabbed it away. That was Dobbs style, like get up and get that ball. Give your quarterback some help here, and even just him getting open finally and getting some touches. Awesome. I love to see that. So that's what I'm talking about when I have complaints against Watson. Where
I think
are
you
you?
were a little. I want to say I got to interrupt you. I think you were a little too hard on him in our last show. He came out. And he said things too, like, "Hey, I'm just here to help this team win in any way possible, and that's blocking. Sure. Doesn't matter." He said all the right things today. He just wants to be part of the team, and he did. He had some nice blocks in that game against Indianapolis. I'm sure he did. As that 22 tape comes out, film, we should say tape, or from the 90s, I guess. Sure. But listen, all those guys are coming to play, and again, you see how this team responds. They rally around Malik. They rally around each other. This is a total team effort win, and it just shows you it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. You've got a young core that believes in themselves, that believe in the coaching staff, and now you got the young defensive coordinator, and those guys definitely believe in it today with that 8-sack performance. I mean, incredible. You just have to tip your cap. It looked a little disjointed in the second half at times. When Tennessee comes out, they have a 7-play, 63-yard drive. You're like, that was too easy. Pump the brakes. This one's not over yet. But then he brings, again, all these exotics, and they just kill it. And Will Levis was dead to rights most of the fourth quarter.
My wife was like, at the end of the fourth quarter, she's like, I might be starting to feel bad for Levis. And I'm like, no, do not even bring yourself to even start thinking that way. This was great. I love seeing the defense attacking it. They got 2 sacks back-to-back plays. Oh, I love it. It was so awesome. But
it was great.
Props to this team, this Green Bay football team right now, because they are doing what is required of them. I know you had a really good point about Watson. Watson's just doing his job, and a lot of the other wide receivers are too. You kind of saw Reed get a little nippy there when he didn't get that little dump out, swing out pass. It's like, yeah, the game was in hand, so just relax, man. Like, don't be that guy to get in the face. And it's Malik Willis, right? Like, he is the second quarterback, sorry. And you don't necessarily get on the same page like that all the time. So just relax. We're good here. But it was great to see the whole team do their job. Go to the game plan, stick with the game plan, because that is successful. That is how you are a team. So I love it, Ren. You got anything more to say about this?
No, again, I think it was a complete team effort. Again, you like what the defense did mostly. The middle linebackers were tough at times. Huge stop by the middle linebackers on that fourth down go. They come up and fill, and they don't get done. That could have been crucial there. They get that fourth down. They knew they were kind of under the sticks, and they went for it. It was early third quarter, mid third quarter, and they just rise to the occasion. And they struggled throughout different parts of the game, being Quay Walker and McDuffie. But you're talking that was a big point of that game as well. So, but again, you like what you're seeing from Halfley now a few weeks in. This team really has to, again, clean it up from the penalty standpoint, because they're shooting themselves in the foot when you get bigger opponents, i.e., the 3-0 Minnesota Vikings, who just boat raced the Houston Texans 34-7 coming in next week. You got to be minding your P's and Q's. Nobody thought the Vikings were going to be this, but listen, Sam Darnold has been great. Aaron Jones has been everything they need him to be, and Jay Jets and the crew, and their defense has improved. So it's going to be a tall task against the Vikings at home next week. So they cannot be giving up, yardage from when you're kicking it back to the team from a punt standpoint, or when you're receiving it on the other end, or when you're 1st and 10 and Rasheed Walker has got a hold, even though he's playing good protection. Now you're backed up 1st and 20. You got to clean that stuff up, man, because it's gonna bite you at some point when you're not playing the Colts and the Titans of the world.
Yeah, good points, Ren. Tough matchup next week, and we'll look forward to that. But let's get out of here. We got our normal podcast coming out in the middle of the week, so join Ren and I for that. Go over to any of our social media pages, follow us there, follow us on YouTube. Of course, this is a video podcast. If you're getting an audio version, head over to YouTube and subscribe there. That'd be awesome. And this week I'll share what happened to my head of hair. So stay tuned for that. Join us this week. So Ren, take us out.
Until our regular episode, Tay, on the pup list.